sent to you 10,000, you divide it to be 5,000 each. I have a brother. And in our class, because my classmates were rich, what I said to myself that you cannot each day eat chapati, mandazi. Some were even coming with ramos in class, a very strong tea. And for me, if I can remember, the only thing I can see in the cupboard back home are the spoons. And yani, I was like, what? Then I told myself, if you get the car, you can eat chapati. Then you cannot have everything. Then you take the grade from me. Then I say, if I am not the top, then I am the top. Yani, ilikuwa kama si mimi number one, basi ni mimi ndio number one. I say you cannot take everything, then yani mimi nitulie, mimi maskini. Then I say, the education is the equalizer. Then I say, you can have the cars, but I can have the grade.
Amen.
They were eating, they were walking, yani, they were wearing. Ukiangalia mwanafunzi unasema this are student, but for me those were only uniforms, were not students. I said you cannot have these things, and I am just there watching. I say one day, in fact I said the cottage of my kids will be a bungalow.
Amen.
I say my kids' cottage will be a bungalow. I say that to myself. So I was also always the top. From Form 1, I was topping in our class. I was topping in every subject. But when we were in Form 4, Term 3, about the exam period, something terrible happened. My eyes didn't see. I could not move my legs. If I could call my dad, the only thing he could say, let me see tomorrow. And his tomorrow will never come. He say, let me see tomorrow. I tell my grandfather, he say, your dad is a teacher. The only option I had is to look for my aunts. My aunts are some who could say, Agit Baba, bado hatujapewa. Others could say, nitakuona advance. But I reached my aunt there, Mildred. I told her that, Auntie, nimelemewa. I could not move my legs. My eyes could not see. And tomorrow, the next day, I was going to sit for my exam. So it was painful. My parents were there watching. They could do nothing. But my aunt sent me transport and some money to go to the hospital. When I went to the hospital, the doctor told me that it is not a must for you to do the exam because there is next year. Because I could not even hold a pen. So in the exam room, on the first day, I remember we started with English. So I slept for like 1 and 20 minutes because I could not see. The only thing I could see in the paper were black things. So, but while sleeping, the content was in, but the energy to write was not there. I could not even move my legs. And the supervisor we had, he was a giant of a man. The supervisor could not allow even the invigilators to write for me. I told him that I can tell him what to write. He cannot write what he has in his head. I can tell him the thing to write. The supervisor was like an enemy of our school. So he could not allow. But my hands could a bit write. Then I said, why should I continue sleeping? While these hands, yes, they don't have the energy to write. But I said, even if it's to draw a picture there, I will try and draw. I tried that week. That week, it was very challenging. The exam was hard. I had the content to write, but the energy was not there. The second week, now that was my week, because those were my subjects. Even the teachers knew that that week, I could get an A in every subject, because those were my booster subjects. But my grandfather told me that, sir, I know I don't have money to give you or to take you to an optician, but I have a prayer to offer to you.
Amen.
And my God will walk with you.
Amen.
I was like, how can God help me when I don't see? Will God come down and write for me? So I went to school that week, and I took my medication, and I told God, I have always been the top. In fact, I was the assistant captain of the school. So I said, how will I appear in front of these other students next year when I come back as a failure? I said that God, even if it's a D+, I will be grateful. So that week, at least, I managed to write something. Although I was not that much sure if I was going to score an A, because I did history, biology, history, math, English. I was like, these subjects will give me 48 points, each of them 12 points. I was like, Esabu, I must get A. Biology, I must get A. History, I must get A. If not A, but A. So I tried. So it came to an end that, but the very last day, we were doing agriculture. That day, I managed to recover my energy.
Wow.
On the last day.
Amen.
And I said, this is the last
Paper.
subject after all, even if I get an A, it will take me nowhere. So I said, why should I write? Because the other subjects I have wrote nothing. I said, let me just let it fall, because there's nothing. Now I was in the exam, but I am preparing to go back to school the next year. I am sitting to an exam, but I'm saying that next year I will come back and I will shame the devil. And sasa juzi wakati matokeo inatoka, siku hata na nguvu ya kukula. Chakula ilikuwa hapo, but nikiweka kwa mdomo is like I am chewing a cotton. So nilionja like mara mbili na nikawacha. Nikikunywa kitu hata ikuwe na sukari na iko tasteless. My mom told me, my son, I believe in you. My aunt told me, I know you can do it. People were telling me that, we know umesimamisha. Hata walimu walikuwa wanajua nimesimamisha ngazi. Lakini mimi mwenyewe najua kama nimeenda sana, nimepata Daudi msalabani. So siku hata nataka kuangalia report. Yani nilikuwa walinipatia simu nijaribu. So mimi nilikuwa naeka tu madoido na wadanganya link imekataa. Naeka madoido na waambia link imekataa kukopi. So kumbe my dad alikuwa amejaribu huko. Brother yangu akanipigia akaniambia, bro, sikuwe na stress. Sisi hatujawahi kuwa wajinga. Na hatujawahi kuwa chini, lazima tutatop.
Amen.
Nikamwambia wewe ukitop, wewe ulikuwa na nguvu CS. Na mimi sasa unaniambia tutatop. Kwani Mungu alikuja akanijazia hiyo mapepa. Akaniambia usiwari, mimi nakutambua. Mimi nikamwambia wewe nitambue, lakini mimi najitambua, niko na Daudi msalabani. So sikuwa nakula. Nikamwambia mamangu usijaribu kuniambia matokeo yangu. Nikamwambia keep it to yourself, na nikamwambia prepare for me, I'm going back to school next month. Akaniambia my son will not go back there because I believe in you. Matokeo wakanipigia simu mara ya kwanza. Nikasema usijaribu, nikakata. Mara ya pili nikakata, nikatoroka nyumbani. Nikasikia mama anasema, my son nilikwambia usiwari, sasa ulikuwa na wari nini? Akaniambia unajua nimeambiwa na mwalimu eti uko na B+. Nikasema that is impossible, that can't happen. Sikuamini, nikajua anataka tu ni gain courage. Nikasema iwezekani. Nikawacha hapo, nikapigia my class teacher. Kupigia my class teacher. My class teacher ananiambia, wewe bana, sasa hii ni kitu gani unafanya wewe? Mimi nilijua unanipea alafu sasa yona hesabu yenye natarajia anatufunza math. Alafu yani ni anapenda kukua tu ashi. Nikamwambia mwalimu, wewe hujui, ukiuliza principal atakwambia kwa nini nimeanguka. Mwalimu mwingine akanipigia akaniambia, Eugene, you know what? Nikamwambia mwalimu, hata sitaki kujua. Akaniambia shule watu wameanguka terribly. Only 12 students could manage to go to university. So, and we were like 50 students always scoring a B. 50 students from Form 1 to Form 4. Even in the post-mock, 50 students scored B and above. So I was like, if the 50 students were scoring B and above, and during the exam I was sick, so I said, obvious, of course I am not among the 12. So I asked the teacher, what about me? I said, and the teacher told me that, you have made us proud. Then is when I gained courage. I even, niliruka, I was about kushika mabati. Nilifurahi na nikasema, Jumapili, I must give the testimony to the church.
Amen.
And for those who have not made it, I have an advice that let go what didn't work and go back in the game, for the Lord will see your effort and will bless you.
Amen.
Thank you.